Hello and welcome to the lunch edition of MBC News. You are with me, Hilda Ngomano. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines. President Mutharika highlights stronger public-private collaboration as the essential engine for Malawi's economic transformation. The Reserve Bank of Malawi and the Financial Intelligence Authority moved to freeze 72.6 billion kwacha linked to the controversial Amarilis Hotel deal. And at least 13 people have died following heavy rains and severe flooding across the country. Thanks for joining us. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has emphasized the need for stronger collaboration between the public and private sector in driving Malawi's economic growth. Speaking at Kamuzu Palace in Lilongwe during a courtesy call by management of FDH Bank, Professor Mutharika said his administration remains committed to creating a conducive environment for private sector development. Mwaintumozi reports.
President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika applauded FDH Bank's efforts, saying its initiatives align with government priorities in infrastructure, education and economic development. FDH Holdings Chief Executive Officer William Pinganjira briefed the President on key initiatives the bank is undertaking, including support towards the Malawi Mining Corporation to strengthen capacity in the mining sector. He also highlighted the financing of major infrastructure projects such as the Golomoti Monkey Bay Turnoff Road. Pinganjira said the bank is also investing in the education sector by constructing student hostels and providing a 1 billion kwacha grant to the Student Loans Board to support needy students in accessing higher education. Maim Tumodzi, MBC News, Lilongwe. The Beautify Malawi BIM Trust says Malawi needs healthy and hardworking communities for it to achieve its aspirations as stipulated in the Malawi 2063 blueprint. BIM representative Fani Kachali said this following the distribution exercise of relief food items in Cheo, Chirazuru and Blantyre. Our reporter, Maim Tumodzi, with the details. On 27th February, Beautify Malawi BIM Trust unveiled its strategic plan for 2026 to 2030, where various stakeholders pledged support. One such company is Simuyu Holdings, which committed 50 million kwacha, a development the First Lady has described as a positive step towards achieving the trust goals. Chairperson of BIM Trust, Dingiswayo Jere, says the support has come at the right time.
We are really happy because every item that was picked up in our strategy by the people that pledged that time, there have been those commitments. And this means that what we desire to see a beautiful and clean Malawi is being fulfilled. So really, for the people that are committing themselves to fulfillment of their pledges in line with our strategy implementation, they are committing themselves to assisting having a cleaner and beautiful Malawi. So I think we are saying it's a win for the people of Malawi by the fulfillment of the people that pledged for the implementation of our strategy.
Chairperson of Simuyu Holdings, Benny Simui, says the support reflects the company's commitment to investing in Malawi's future.
So during the ceremony that took place a few weeks ago here at State House, I was so touched when I saw the works that Her Excellency and organization have been doing in the past years. So it moved me and it made me to make these pledges, and we intend to pledge more to work together again in partnership with Beautify Malawi.
Apart from the financial support, the company has also handed over 600 bags of men's flour and pledged an additional 600. It has further committed to purchasing a minibus for the trust and plans to establish a sanitary pads manufacturing initiative to support the girl child. Maim Tumodzi, MBC News, Lilongwe. First Lady, Madam Professor Gertrude Mutharika, is set to travel to the United States of America, where she will, among other high-level engagements, attend the Fostering the Future Together Global Summit. A statement signed by the Chief Secretary to the government, Justin Saidi, indicates that Madam Mutharika has been invited by U.S. First Lady Melania Trump for the summit to run from 24 to 26 March 2026 in Washington, D.C. The summit calls upon First Ladies from around the globe to develop strategies for securing a bright and equitable digital future for children worldwide. The Reserve Bank of Malawi, in partnership with the Financial Intelligence Authority, has traced and frozen 72.6 billion kwacha involved in the Amaryllis Hotel deal. Reserve Bank of Malawi Governor, who is also Registrar of Financial Institutions, George Partridge, disclosed this when he appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Public Accounts. Partridge said the Central Bank, as well as the Financial Intelligence Authority, are working to trace the remaining amount for recovery. Details in this report.
The Registrar of Financial Institutions announced several actions that RBM has undertaken to follow and track the transactions of Amaryllis Hotel after being informed by a whistleblower. Among others, the Registrar, George Partridge, highlighted written correspondences as well as instructions for the pension fund to halt the process of procuring the hotel, which was later disobeyed by the board. Partridge has since pointed out that the central bank is making progress on the matter.
We have traced some amounts by ourselves, at least with the banks, but also using Financial Intelligence Authority, and we have frozen. I think it's on public record now that we were doing it there. We are making a presentation. Wait for the responses from the trustees, and then we will assess the responses and we will move forward after that.
Parliamentary Committee Chairperson on Public Accounts, Stephen Malondela, has since recommended a lifestyle audit of all officers involved in the transaction.
We really want to understand how this money was used, be it with the purchase of farms, looking at vehicles, houses, all those things. We want that to be done, especially on officials who were involved in this thing.
The Public Pension Service Trust Fund paid 90.1 billion kwacha, and nearly 17 billion kwacha is remaining to be traced and recovered. Trust Office, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Government says support from the Food and Agriculture Organization will help accelerate land registration and improve land management systems in the country. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Lands, Aman Musa, says the support will help the ministry complete land registration processes in Traditional Authority Mnyanja in Kasungu District. Musa said digitizing land registration will allow people with customary land to obtain ownership certificates and use their land productively to improve their livelihoods.
Basically, we are trying to improve our land management by digitizing the process. As you are aware, we are now having to register and issue certificates in terms of ownership for customary land. So most of the land in this republic is customary land. So if people don't have documents for the customary land that they own, they cannot use the land economically. So basically this support will greatly improve or enhance the process that we are undertaking in Kasungu District. We are doing this in the whole country progressively, and we hope that in the next few years we should be able to register all customary land parcels and issue appropriate documentation so that the people that own the land can economically use their land to improve the quality of their life, their economic status, for instance.
In his remarks, Ali Said Yusuf, the FAO representative to Malawi, said the Technical Cooperation Program will improve technical support and equipment to facilitate land registration. Women Training Center at Mchengatua in Mzuzu has embarked on an initiative to grow herbs to boost immunity among people living with HIV. Programs manager Lilian Nyirenda said the group taking a holistic approach to supporting people living with HIV. Meklina Chira has compiled this report.
In an interview with MPC, Nyirenda said the center has launched the initiative to grow herbs like moringa and aloe vera, known for their immune-boosting properties. However, she emphasized the importance of adhering to ART, antiretroviral therapy for those living with HIV, alongside using the immune-boosting herbs.
These plants are the plants which we believe and we learn that it helps to people with the HIV to boost their immune system. There are some plants which are very, very sensitive on the HIV. Yeah, so if someone who is HIV positive can take this one, the immune system will be high.
Healthy activist Maziko Matemba stressed the importance of following proper procedures when using herbs, especially for people living with HIV.
The World Health Organization recognized traditional medicine, but those traditional medicine has been approved by research institutions within country. So I'm hoping that initiative, they have gone through that process so that it doesn't endanger those people who are on treatment.
The group started in early 2025, comprises 18 women and 4 men who empower each other economically through various projects, including processing local food into jam and organic manure for sale. Meklina Chirwa, MBC News, Mzozo.
You are watching MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika highlights stronger public-private collaboration as the essential engine for Malawi's economic transformation. The Reserve Bank of Malawi and the Financial Intelligence Authority moved to freeze 72.6 billion kwacha linked to the controversial Amarilis Hotel deal. And at least 13 people have died following heavy rains and severe flooding across the country.
The Sting, Mbola, Mene, muli nkhani zeni. Nkhani zokutino muzitsate bwino.
Nkhani ngandonena kuti khandi kupanga chibwezi mnyamata yako zakafula. Ndeti napita maloneke kuti tikatani kuti tikachezi.
Mimi ndilo panga chibwezi sinapita kukaitesa magazi.
Ngokonzeka kuti mwana wa malizati amagaza.
Paita temana nabwera nakangaruta nani ankomera iyeyo. Ine sisinayendi.
Eni yake kuzifotokoza, kusanthula komanso kuthula nkhawa zawo. Ndizikupatsirani program imeneyi ndine mkhozi komanso mulutsi Andrea. Don't miss kuyambira April imwe.
Welcome back. At least 13 people have died following heavy rains and flooding that affected parts of the country between March 15 and 18, 2026. In a statement signed by Commissioner for Disaster Management Affairs, Wilson Mullen, the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, said 9,598 households have been affected and 35 injuries have been recorded so far. Tibilio Kamula is DODMA's spokesperson and he speaks to a reporter, Geoffrey Chinawa.
Following heavy rains that most parts of the country have been experiencing, we have received preliminary reports of damages from 16 councils, and these are Blantyre City, Blantyre District, Chikwawa, Chiradzulu, Dedza, Karonga, Lilongwe District, Machinga, Mangochi, Anchinji, Mulanje, Mwanza, Neno, Palombe, Zomba City, and Zomba District. So in total, 9,598 households have been affected, out of which 128 households have been displaced and have sought shelter in 12 camps that have been established in 6 councils. Unfortunately, we have recorded 13 deaths and 35 injuries. As DODMA, we are distributing relief assistance to the affected households as councils are still conducting assessments to establish the extent of damage. We are also appealing to local and international and government organizations, and of course the private sector and individuals of goodwill to support ongoing response efforts through the provision of relief items, financial resources.
And joining us live from Chikwawa is our correspondent, Hamida Kazembe. Hamida, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine. Tell us, we've heard that According to Dodma, people have died following heavy rains and flooding. We just want to find out from Chikwawa, how is the situation?
To say the truth, in Chikwawa, the situation is very bad right now. So far, we have 3 deaths that have been recorded, and all are males. And also, the reason behind is that they were trying to cross the flooded river in their areas.
What river is this one? Do you know?
Pardon?
Do you know the river that they were the name of the river that they were trying to cross?
No, but I just know they are where they are working. One of the teachers from Chabanonga area. He was going for a head count activity.
All right. So what has been the response?
Hello?
What has been the response from Dodma or the office of the DC?
Yeah, maybe just to proceed, verbally said that we have 3 deaths that have been recorded here in Chikwawa, and also we have 2 injuries. The reason behind it was the war fell on them, and also we have 5 traditional authorities that have been affected, and currently there are 3 counties that have been established at Beleu, where Beleu is under traditional authority Masaya. So far, we have recorded 1,565 people affected in Chikwawa district from 15 March till yesterday. And so far, Charity Machika, who is district management district disaster officer at Chikwawa District Council, says they are still recording the actual total of people who have been affected.
All right, Hamida, has it been raining heavily every day, or is water coming from other places?
Currently, there is a lot of, we can say that there is only showers, but currently the situation at Gamo's Bridge, where there is Sheer River, the situation is very bad. There is also floods like water, crops have been affected also. There is a lot of water in the fields.
All right, so has there been any assistance for the people that are living in the camps?
No, currently the disaster committees are on the ground, whereby they are still recording some of the crops that have been affected. Also, how is the situation in the ground? So we're just waiting from the Office of Disaster to give us the data.
All right, thank you so much, Hamida. We'll talk again to hear the latest developments. Now, Commissioner for the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, Dodma, Wilson Mullen, said the department has begun pre-positioning relief items across the country to assist families affected by floods caused by persistent heavy rains. Speaking on the sidelines of the maize donation by M&B Company, Mullen said trucks are already in transit to deliver aid to affected communities, including Salima, Mangochi, Mwanza, Blantyre, and Zomba.
Resistant rains since the past 2 days have affected a couple of districts, and Salima is one of them. The report that we got early today suggests that 197 households in Salima have been affected, particularly in TA, Mabanjira, and the rest of the TAs have also been affected. We have also heard reports from Mangochi, Mwanza, Mulanje, that households have been affected by these rains. And so as a department, we are working with our various partners. We had set out under our anticipatory action plan that these rains would affect some of these districts. So as a department, we have prepared by prepositioning food relief items, and if need be, the search and rescue team is on standby to start or to get activated as soon as the need arises.
Meanwhile, the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, has started reaching out to people who have been affected by the ongoing heavy rains. Director of Preparedness and Recovery for DODMA, Charles Matabwa, said this in Blantyre on the sidelines of a food distribution exercise to hunger-stricken households. According to Matabwa, DODMA has positioned relief items in strategic places across the country. The Lean Season Response Delegation is being championed by the World Food Programme with support from the Japanese government and other stakeholders. We have a report by Geoffrey Chinawa.
According to Matabwa, DODMA has already started helping those who have been affected by the recent heavy rains in a number of districts across the country. He has also commended the World Food Programme, WFP, and its partners for joining the efforts to ease the hunger situation in the country.
We are very grateful for what the Japanese government has done through the WFP. They are very strong partners who are helping us to reach out to many people. But with the coming of our partners, they have eased the situation. And as you have seen, and as the beneficiaries themselves have said it, the situation is easing up because of their intervention. Yes, we are very set as we are talking now. We and our partners and our foundry also talk about the WFP, and we have got Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services and all other clusters have been meeting and mapping the way forward. Some are already on the ground to assist in the situation, and everything will be okay. I want to assure everybody that the government is quite committed to serve the people, and help will reach everybody who has been affected.
In his remarks, Ambassador of Japan to Malawi, Naito Yusushi, said his government has pumped in about 2.8 billion kwacha into the hunger alleviating initiative.
Apart from the food aid we have many programs and projects to enhance the capability of food security, of self-reliance, empowering the agricultural sector. One of them is the irrigation system. We have been supporting the irrigations, and we are also planning. And also the rice production.
The World Food Programme, WFP, is implementing the program, and so far the exercise is making good progress. Hyang Junlin currently is the WFP's country representative.
WFP has been always working together with the government of Malawi. With the DODMA, we are hand in hand to help the most vulnerable people, and there are 4 million people are facing food hunger crisis during the lean season. And thanks to our donors like Japan, we are WFP alone, we are reaching 823,000 people. And with the Japan contribution, 320,000 people with 3,500 tons of meals. So this has been very critical for people suffering from hunger.
One of the beneficiaries, 65-year-old Anne Manyozo, commended the authorities for the support. In October last year, government reported that about 4 million people were in need of food support. Geoffrey Chinawa, MBC News, Blantyre.
The Technical, Entrepreneurial and Vocational Education and Training Authority, TVETA, says equipping young people with technical skills is key to tackling youth unemployment in the country. The remarks were made in Salima by Director of Training Programs at TVETA, Modesto Gomane, during a recent graduation of technical trainers. McDonald Chiwayula reports.
Speaking during a training of trainers drawn from Dowang, Kotakota and Salima districts, Gomani said the initiative aims to equip mastercraft persons with modern training methodologies. He said the program will ensure that trainers deliver skills training based on national standards once they engage learners in their workshops. Gomani added that empowering young people with skills in areas such as carpentry, bricklaying, motor vehicle and motorcycle mechanics will help the country build a productive workforce capable of driving driving economic development.
When we have a skilled human resource, the country would be in a position to drive its own development. Here what we're doing is we want to skill as many Malawians as possible, because we know that this is one of the very important instruments of empowering rural communities to do job assignments, businesses based on the skills. And what is good about the skills is that people will be able to produce. And as a country, we want to have a country that is able to produce. We need to empower ourselves so that we are able to produce goods that can be sold on our local market as well as on an international market. We can only do that by having a human resource that is skilled.
The program also targets vulnerable and rural youth, equipping them with practical skills to start businesses and improve their livelihoods. Salima Komsip District Coordinator Gamazi Diverson said the initiative is already transforming lives by helping young people acquire knowledge and graduate from poverty.
This program is very important to the beneficiaries who have graduated into the COMCP approach for the YSC program, that is the Youth Skill Challenge program, that is implemented in all districts in Malawi, including in Salima. So it helps the learners, the youth, to impart it with skills and knowledge on how to demonstrate and to graduate from the poverty.
In his remarks, Chairperson of the Central Region Informal TVET Providers Association, Christopher Bashiu Ziada, who is also a mastercraft person, assured the nation that artisans being trained under the program are well inculcated with ethical behavior and are ready to deliver quality services. Finally, one of the graduates, Thompson Matthews, expressed confidence that the training has prepared him to mentor young people in his community.
I, as a mechanic, I do mechanics on motorcycles, generators, water pumps, and even the solar pumps. Yeah, so the children who are coming on my shop, I'll be teaching them on everything that I do.
The initiative is expected to empower young people with practical skills, enabling them to create jobs, improve their livelihoods, and contribute to national development. McDonald Chwaira, MBC News, Salima.
The body of former Netball Association of Malawi General Secretary and board member of the Malawi National Council of Sports, Helen Mpinganjira Tasosa, will be laid to rest this afternoon in Lumbadzi, Lilongwe. Mpinganjira Tasosa died on Tuesday at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital in Blantyre. Her journey in netball started at Tigresses as a player, team manager, coach, and then administrator until her death. Tigresses coach Peace Chawinga Kalua says the club is devastated by her death.
If I need to describe the legacy that Helen has left behind, it will be very difficult for me, because Helen weared a lot of many faces on her. She was a coach, she was a mentor, she was a mother, she was a manager, she worked as an administrator. So she has delivered in all the positions that she worked for. As a coach, she delivered. As an administrator, she delivered. As a team manager, up to now, she really delivered. So we are heartbroken, because we don't even know where to start from. Helen to me was a friend, was a mother, was an advisor for me. Anytime I got a problem, I could go to to her. Anytime I got something which hinges on my life, I would go to her at any time. And she will be available to assist, she will be available to advise. And her advices were so helpful to most of us. So as of now, I don't even know where to start from.
Well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika highlights stronger public-private collaboration as the essential engine for Malawi's economic transformation. The Reserve Bank of Malawi and the Financial Intelligence Authority moved to freeze 72.6 billion kwacha linked to the controversial Amarilis Hotel deal. And at least 13 people have died following heavy rains and severe flooding across the country. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital pages by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Hilda Ngomano. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
Sting Mbola mmene muli nkhani zenizeni nkhani zokutino muzitsate bwinobwino.
Nkhani ngandonena kuti khandi kupanga chibwezi mnyamata iko zakafolo ndi tinapita maloneke kuti tikatani kuti tikachezi.
Nina ndilo panga chibwezi sinapite kukaizesa magazi.
Ngokonzeka kuti mwana wa malizati amagaza.
Malizati amene anabwera anakhanga kuti anani ankomera iyeyo ine sisinayendi.
Eni yake kuzifotokoza kusanthula komanso kukhuthula nkhawa zawo ndizikupatsirani programu imeneyi ndine mkhozi komanso mulutsi Andrea. Don't miss kuyambira April imwe. The Sting Mbola mmene muli nkhani zenizeni nkhani